What is the biggest PsyOp that people don't know about?
Yeah, there's many PsyOps, as we all know.
And maybe define a PsyOp for people that don't know.
Psychological operation, so it's an operation designed to psychologically entrap you into a narrative or a belief system so that you're under control or a spell, if you will. So that's essentially what it is, what I gather. And there's many of them, there's many of them that we could rhyme off, but I'd say the biggest one, the biggest of them all, is the PsyOp that you are not divinely connected to God internally within yourself. And once you realize that, once one realizes that the Creator actually lives within you, every single one of you out there listening, the Creator is in you right now, just waiting to be tapped into. People, they could second guess that, but try it out for size, because the world, the outside world has people looking outside of themselves to create a relationship with God or the Creator. And in that, it leads them down so many paths of destruction and pain and suffering and all this kind of stuff, which is all part of it, because it's just getting you to look back at the last place that you would ever actually look, which is within yourself. And once you honor that and just create that, that worship to look within, worship essentially means to pay attention to what's within. Everything is shown to you. Like, there's nothing I could say to you, Josh, or anybody listening that you don't actually know deep within yourself.
That's why it feels so good when we hear it.
Exactly. It's already there.
Yeah.
We already are divine beings. We have divinity within ourselves, and that humanness is divine. It's in the name, human being. Okay, what does that mean? Well, the human is our, our creation, made in his image, made in his imagination. Basically, he imagined this human being, but the being is the aliveness, God is being. Everything that has the Creator in it is being. It's the beingness. It's the I am. So I think that's the biggest PsyOp, and that's what it's all designed to get us to do, is to look at the last place that we would ever actually look, which is within ourselves. And once one realizes that God lives within you, you are unlimited. You are unleashed. Anything is truly possible.
I'm just letting that sit for a moment. I was seeing a picture as you were talking, which is then something's good. And I was visualizing during a workout or a sauna or even like a heavy breath work session, anytime that I'm doing that, if I can have a overlay or an intention that, hey, by me doing this, I'm practicing being closer to God. And have that as a pure intention. Like, if that's the overlay and that's the lens, whether it's a walk, a workout, a sauna session, whatever, taking an entheogen, like, will this bring me closer to God? And if the answer is yes, go for it. If it's not, this is how simple it is, right?
So
now, just because it's simple doesn't mean it's easy to do all the time. We live in modernity with lots of hooks, and lots of like girls with thongs on Instagram. And even for the women out there, you're being trained in ways that I can't even fathom. And being a woman's hard. So is being a man at times. So what I'm saying is that if we can just use that as a decision-making faculty, is what I'm about to do, the food, the water, the connections, the conversation, is it bringing me closer to God? If the answer is yes, then go for it. But yet the answer, the ability to answer that question can't even be there if there's not already a pre-existing relationship with God. In other words, if the lens is covered with mud, then I can't see through it. And then I'll never know. And many souls, it breaks my heart, many people get so locked into that reptilian self, that lower self, that they never make it out, man. It's freaking heartbreaking. They're victim. This is why Skid Row exists. These are lost souls, right? These are people that they get to the bottom. So hopefully, if you're here with us, you're watching, you're listening, you're sharing this podcast with somebody who you can sense is headed that path. Do you have any stories or people in your life that were profoundly changed when they started to clean off the mud of the lies, where they could finally connect with God again? I know for yourself it's there, but is there like a family member or a friend or just somebody that you know, when they started to actually form a real, honest relationship with the God in themselves and the God that created them, that they transformed?
Well, I saw it firsthand with my sister, and I love my sister. She's amazing. She's an amazing young woman. She's always been a blessing in my life. But I did, I saw her as very much of a woman of the Matrix world, like she was a career woman and maybe buying into feminism a little bit, maybe not even knowing it, but, still very innocent as well. I want to say, if she's watching, like she's an amazing young woman. But all this to say, I saw the light of the Creator touch her, like she was touched when she started shifting her perception, her attention towards God, the Creator, and I never, my sister was not a religious person, either was I at the time. I was more spiritual, more new age stuff, plant medicine stuff. And she was more atheist, I would say. I don't know what her relationship was, but she never talked about anything like that. And then she started dating this guy who was Christian Orthodox, and that was her portal into God, and I'm not saying I agree with everything Christian Orthodox and all that. I have my own views. That's a different topic, but I will say that I saw her touched by God, and that was very visible for me. And I was like, wow, okay, she shifted her attention towards something bigger than herself, her career, her this, and there was a light around her that I had never seen. She was always a wonderful woman, but that was one that really stands out,
What was the light?
It was literally like an aura, like an auric light, that I could see around her. And it was like this angelic thing. And I was like, wow, it was so much that it got me to really dive into Christianity and all this kind of stuff, which I had my own experience with. We could save that for another time. But it was awesome. And it was just really, whatever the path is, whether it's Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, plant medicine, whatever it is, like, it's really going towards that light of the Creator is what I believe it is, and I love the word, the Creator, as well. Like, and all this stuff, it's exactly that. These are just words. These are just signposts pointing to what is. Like, the word God is obviously just a word. It's so limiting, right? It can't encompass what it is to be the ineffable, but it can point you in that direction to go and look, I believe, where it's within. Yeah.
So good. Beware of false prophets has been spoken in many religious texts, not just the Bible.
Yeah.
And I remember Andrew Tate was being interviewed once, and he's like, the interviewer was saying, so you found this relationship with God? And Andrew Tate's like, yeah. I think Andrew Tate is kind of a role player like a David Goggins, where they might help somebody for a moment, but if you attach your philosophy to being that type of person, you're fucked.
All these religions and, spiritual texts, they're all pointing back to love. And that was like the big reveal for me. So it's like, you could have all the wisdom, but if you don't have love, like, you're still missing a big part of it.
Whoa. If you enjoyed that one you just saw, you will love this one on the screen. Click it and enjoy.